and the podcast is called Sidetrack Society. Sidetrack Society. Now, I wanted to talk about this for two reasons. One, it came up on my Instagram, and I was like, well, I'm looking for podcasts, so let's listen to it. And the first episode that I saw was a 100-mile review, which I didn't listen to that full episode. I did get through half of it. But right before that was their most recent episode, which was on anger. And it was, I think they're married. I don't know. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But it's a man and a woman. And they're just talking. It sounds like they're talking in their car to make this podcast. And the reason I wanted to share this was the episode on anger frustrated me to no end. But it was a very honest assessment of how we deal with our anger. But the episode starts by the lady sharing a story of going to the doctor's office, and she was sort of like the third person watching this other person get angry at the people, the secretary and the people who check you in and do your registration. And the way she told the story was the lady got mad because she had filled everything out online or on her tablet or something like that, and they didn't have Wi-Fi. And the lady was just irate. She was mad because she didn't want to fill it all out again. It took her hours to fill it out, whatever the reason was. And what they talked about in the episode was how the lady made a scene, just was yelling loudly on purpose, trying to get attention, and they discussed why people do that. And I thought to myself, because this didn't come out in their episode, I was like, I can be that lady sometimes in the story that they were talking about. I can relate to that because there's so many times when broken systems or systems that aren't employed properly are being dealt with by people who I perceive as extremely lazy. Walmart is my best example, and I don't want to disparage any Walmart workers, okay? But our local Walmart is so frustrating. And I'm sure this is true at other grocery stores and other places that you shop, retail places. But there are things that happen that just defy logic to where I could see myself acting the way that they discussed in this podcast. And they were sort of like, well, why would somebody act this way? Well, and they were asking genuinely, like, when you get angry in public like that, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? And I don't feel like they really answered the question in their episode. And I thought, well, I'll answer it for you. So the reason people get frustrated and the reason people get angry in those situations is because they don't feel like the obvious, logical, natural conclusion of the situation is being employed. And so they're trying to get people to do that. And the reason you might raise your voice in that situation or make a scene, it might be to get attention. And that's what they talked a lot about. This person might need empathy, or might need someone to feel sorry for them. I'll tell you why I get angry and why sometimes I make a scene like that. And I don't make a scene like she described, but the thing that makes me kind of be like, what are you doing? Like, it's a wake-up call to the person on the other side of the situation to say, hey, are you aware of how frustrating this is to other people? And if you are not aware, we're going to make you aware. But on the flip side, in making you aware, I discover whether or not the problem is, does this problem exist as something that is outside your control, or is it something that is inside your control? And when I discover that, that is when I can maybe make the scene worse or whatever. Sometimes you get to a point where you're like, there's no point in arguing this. There's no point in making this scene. But you do want to make your concerns known because you may not realize whether or not that person even knows the problem exists. I know for me personally, when I'm in public and I get angry like that, it's usually because I want to make them aware of the situation and hopefully get them to fix it. Now, one of the things that really stood out to me was there was a point where they were kind of bantering and joking, and the lady in the podcast said to the hypothetical person who might be doing this, it's a small thing. How much time do you need? Like how much time? The assumption was, how much time do you need to get over it, or to sort through your thoughts, or to have a rational conversation? And I was like, and even the man in this, and I assume it's a husband, I'm not sure, but that's the way they talk. Even he said, no, don't say that. Like that, like, don't diminish their concern, because that'll only make them more angry. But what stood out to me in that interaction and in that comment was the assumption that the person who was expressing anger in a way that might be perceived as irrational must be wrong. And that's not the case. Sometimes that person is the most rational in the room, and that person is trying their best to get through to you, the person who's like, oh, how much time do you need? Well, I don't know. How much time is it going to take you to fix the problem and admit that you're wrong? Right? Now I say it like that, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what's wrong, man? What's the deal? But literally, I wrote down in my notes, it will take however long it takes for you to realize that you are wrong and put an ounce of effort into fixing it. And now I don't know, listening to that story and that episode on anger, I have no idea what the situation was. The lady might have just been completely irrational, throwing a fit. The way she described it, the people tried to help her multiple ways, and she was just insistent that it wasn't getting fixed unless it was done her way. Maybe so. There are people like that out there. But I can tell you, as somebody who can get angry that way, and I don't know if I would say make a scene, but there's times where I've just looked at people and been like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not aware that society is existing around you, that you're so selfish that you're going to act this particular way? And I want them to be aware that they're affecting other people. Now, maybe I'm the crazy one. That's okay. But I thought it was a good, regardless of my feeling towards that episode, I thought it was a good conversation. It got me thinking about my anger and why do I do the things that I do. And I came up with solutions. Like, I felt like there was a voice missing in that conversation. Maybe mine's the irrational one, but the episode was great. They have really good conversations. And then they did a 100-mile review with a person named Ashley of, I guess she did a 100-mile ultra marathon. Whew, I'll tell you, if you want to get a good picture of how hard those races are, I don't know if this person, I got the impression that the person had tried once before and failed, but she talks about blacking out and her legs just hurting and the pacers encouraging her. I'll tell you, I've done a marathon. I'm about to do my second one, and I've been encouraged to try an ultra. It doesn't look fun. It looks tough, and it sounds tough. Both of these episodes, and probably the whole podcast, I don't know that I'll get to the whole podcast. It's a good conversation between two people, just chatting it out. Good conversation. Highly recommended. It was called Sidetrack Society.
No quit, no quit, no quit. Building their wall. While they talk about us, all they talk about us. Educated, experienced, still not credible. So we embraced it. Now we're uncredible.